Donald O'Connor talks about his true feelings about Donna Reed. Donald O'Connor was born Donald David Dixon Ronald O'Connor on August 28, 1925 in Chicago, Illinois. O'Connor was literally born into show business. His parents were vaudeville performers, and from an early age, he got to see the exciting, challenging world of live entertainment. By the time he was just a toddler, Donald was already appearing on stage with his family, learning the art of timing, rhythm, and how to connect with audience that would shape his career. The O'Connors were a traveling family, performing across the country, often living out of suitcases. But this traveling life helped Donald deeply understand showmanship and his ability to adjust to any situation on stage or screen. O'Connor's early life was not without hardship. The Great Depression and the traveling nature of vaudeville meant the family often struggled with money. Tragedy struck when several of Donald's brothers and sisters died young, and his father passed away when Donald was just a boy. These early losses gave him a quiet sadness beneath his careful outside appearance, yet instead of becoming bitter, he poured his emotions into performing. He found joy in making people laugh and escape their troubles, perhaps because he knew so well what it meant to live through hard times. This mixture of heart and humor would later make his performance feel so alive and real. Donald starred in movies came at a young age when Universal Pictures saw his natural charm and energy. He began appearing in movies as a child actor in 1930 Seconds, quickly standing out for his bright eyes and confident screen presence. But it wasn't until the 1940s that O'Connor became a true star. During World War II, he appeared in a series of fun musical comedies that gave audiences a welcome escape from the uncertainty of the times. His singing, dancing, and comedic timing got comparisons to legends like Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly. Yet O'Connor brought something uniquely his own, a combination of boyish excitement and slapstick brilliance that made him impossible not to watch. Of course, the role that forever cemented Donald O'Connor's place in movie history came in 1952 with Singin' in the Rain, starring alongside Gene Kelly and Debbie Reynolds. O'Connor delivered a performance for the ages as Cosmo Brown, the witty and loyal sidekick with endless energy and perfect comedic timing. His unforgettable number, Make 'Em Laugh, remains one of the most famous scenes in film history. A masterclass in physical comedy, dance appreciation, and sheer endurance, O'Connor performed that number with such intensity that it reportedly sent him to the hospital for exhaustion afterward, yet on screen, he made it look effortless, a pure expression of joy and showmanship that still delights audiences over 70 years later. Following Singin' in the Rain, O'Connor continued to charm audiences in the 1950s and 1960s with roles in films like Francis the Talking Mule and Call Me Madam, showcasing his versatility as both a comedian and leading man. The Francis series, though lighter fare, became very popular and made O'Connor a household name. Even as the Hollywood musical began to fade in popularity, O'Connor remained active, moving to television and stage performances. He hosted The Donald O'Connor Show and appeared on many variety programs where his quick wit and improvisational shone just as brightly as his dancing feet had on the silver screen. As he got older, O'Connor never lost his spark. He continued performing well into his later years, appearing in stage productions, television specials, and interviews where he shared memories of Hollywood's golden age. Even as his health got worse, he kept his humor and sense of gratitude. Once joking that had entertained himself all his life, his final public appearances revealed I'm proud of his legacy, but still modest, still the same down-to-earth entertainer who just wanted to make people smile. Donald O'Connor's personality, though often overshadowed by his extraordinary talent as a dancer, singer, and comedian, offers a fascinating window into the man behind the laughter. His marriages reveal both his longing for stability and the challenges he faced living under the intense pressure of Hollywood's bright lights and demanding schedules. O'Connor's first marriage was to Gwen Carter in 1944, a union that began during one of the most chaotic yet productive times in his early career. At the time, O'Connor was a young star on the rise at Universal Pictures, best known for his musical comedies and light-hearted charm. Gwen Carter, a striking and talented woman in her own right, entered his life when he was gaining fame through a string of successful musical films. Their marriage represented, at least at first, a moment of grounding in the fast-moving world of show business. However, as O'Connor's career grew, so did the stresses that came with constant public exposure and the tough demands of film production. The couple's relationship reportedly struggled under the weight of long separations and the difficulty of keeping a private life amid Hollywood's constant attention. After a decade together, they divorced in 1954, marking the end of O'Connor's first attempt to balance a personal relations with the unpredictability of a show business career. 2 years later, in 1956, O'Connor found love again when he married Gloria Noble, an actress and secretary who would become the steady presence he so badly needed. This marriage turned out to be one of the most lasting and defining relationships of his life. Gloria Noble was known for her beauty, warmth, and unwavering support for her husband, whose career had both amazing highs and deeply personal lows. She stood by him as he moved from film stardom in the 1940s and 1950 seconds to the challenges of staying relevant in the entertainment industry as television began to take over. Together, they raised a family, which brought O'Connor a sense of peace that had escaped him during his first marriage. Gloria's influence on Donald was deep, while he was known to be a perfectionist on set, driven by an almost crazy energy that produced some of the most dazzling dance numbers in Hollywood history, such as his unforgettable make 'em laugh routine in Singin' in the Rain. She provided the calm and emotional balance he often lacked. Friends and colleagues noted that Gloria had a grounding effect on Donald, helping him manage his bouts of exhaustion and depression, which came from years of overwork and the pressure to continually deliver top-tier performances. Their marriage lasted until Gloria's passing in 2001, and O'Connor often spoke of her with deep affection and gratitude in later interviews, acknowledging her as his true partner in both life and spirit. Throughout his long and varied career, Donald O'Connor worked with many talented actresses, but few left as lasting an impression on him as Donna Reed. The two had known each other during the golden years of Hollywood when both were carving out their place in the entertainment world. O'Connor as a dazzling song and dance man, and Reed as one of the most poised and beautiful actress of her generation. When O'Connor spoke about Reed later in life, his words carried warmth, admiration, and a sense of nostalgia for a Hollywood that once valued grace, class, and genuine decency. Donna was one of the kindest, most sincere people I ever met in this business, O'Connor once said. She didn't play the Hollywood game. She was the real thing. Their paths crossed several times at industry events and social gatherings, and O'Connor often recalled Reed stood out in a crowd, not because she was loud or attention-seeking, but because of her quiet confidence. He admired her calm, her professionalism, and the way she carried herself with dignity both on and off the screen. You could always tell Donna was raised with good values, has Aid. She treated everyone the same, from the studio head to the stagehand. That kind of humility is rare in show business. O'Connor's respect for Reed grew even deeper when he saw her performances. He was especially impressed by her Oscar-winning role in From Here to Eternity, 1953, where she shed her girl next door image and proved her dramatic range. When I saw her in From Here to Eternity, I couldn't believe it was the same sweet Donna I'd seen on the MGM lot years before, he said. She had that strength, that fire. You saw something deeper behind those eyes. It took real courage for her to take that part, and she nailed it. To O'Connor, Reed represented the kind of artist who refused to be boxed in, who took shots and kept evolving even when Hollywood wanted her to stay in one lane. He also appreciated the way she balanced her professional and personal life, something he admitted he often struggled with. Reed's long marriage to producer Denny Owen and her devotion to their children made a strong impression on him. I admired the way she put her family first, O'Connor confessed. Most of us in this business, we get caught up in the lights and the applause, but Donna always knew what really mattered. She had her priorities straight. That sense of being grounded, he believed, made her performances all the more real. You could feel her goodness in every role she played. It wasn't just acting. It was who she was, behind the cameras. O'Connor described Reed as a consummate professional, on time, prepared, and always gorgeous. You never heard her complain, he recalled. If there was a problem on set, Donna would just smile and find a way to make it better. She had this calming presence that made everyone want to do their best. He contrasted her behavior with the temperamental behavior that often troubled Hollywood productions, adding with a laugh, if every star behaved like Donna Reed, producers would have lived 10 years longer. O'Connor also spoke of a more personal admiration. His belief that Reed showed a kind of moral and emotional strength that made her stand out among her peers during the later years of her career. When Reed became politically outspoken and even replaced Barbara Bel Geddes on Dallas in the 1980s, O'Connor said he wasn't someone like Donna. You remember the grace, the honesty, the decency. She presented the best of what Hollywood called be. For him, Reed was more than just a beautiful actress. She was a reminder of an era when kindness mattered as much as talent. She was proof, O'Connor concluded, that you could be a star without losing your soul. Donald O'Connor's words about Donna Reed revealed the sensitivity and sincerity that characterized both of them. His admiration wasn't rooted in romantic affection, but in deep respect for her as a woman, an artist, and a human being who carried herself with rare integrity. His reflections offered not just a portrayal of Donna Reed, but also of O'Connor himself, an entertainer who valued decency and compassion above the fleeting glamour of Hollywood. Together, their stories represented two sides of the same coin. Hard-working, gifted performers who brought joy to millions while staying true to who they were. And in remembering her, O'Connor summed it up best. Donna Reed didn't just light up the screen. She lit up every room she walked into. Donald O'Connor's latter years were marked by a series of health struggles that mirrored the incredible physical energy and endurance he had shown throughout his career. In 1990, he underwent a quadruple heart bypass surgery, a major operation that showed just how much his lifelong dedication to performing had taken a toll on his body. For decades, O'Connor had been known for his seeming mindless vitality, dazzling audiences with his athletic dancing, acrobatic crudiness, and fast-paced comedy. Yet been that joyful exterior, years of relentless performing, touring, and film work had left his health increasingly fragile. The heart surgery was both a life-saving measure and a stark reminder that even one of Hollywood's most tireless entertainers was not invincible. Still true to his nature, O'Connor faced the ordeal with courage and humor, joking to friends and doctors that the only thing he wanted after surgery was to dance again. His recovery was slow but determined, and it reflected the same perseverance that had carried him through the hardships of his early life and the ups and downs of show business. O'Connor's health took another severe blow in January 1999 when he nearly died from pleural pneumonia, a serious and painful inflammation of the tissue surrounding the lungs. For someone whose performances had always relied on breath control and physical agility, the illness struck particularly hard. His hospitalization at that time lasted several weeks, during which his family and fans feared the worst. Yet once again, O'Connor surprised everyone with his resilience. Despite his weakened state, he refused to give in to despair, telling visitors that he had too many laughs left to give. His recovery, though miraculous, left lasting effects, and he was forced to scale back his public appearances. Nevertheless, he occasionally returned to the stage and television for special tributes, determined to stay connected to the world of entertainment that had defined his life. Sadly, Donald O'Connor's remarkable spirit could not defy time forever. On September 27, 2003, he passed away at the age of 78 from complications of heart failure. His death occurred at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Woodland Hills, California, a place that had long served as a refuge for Hollywood's aging legends. The location was fitting, for it was a community dedicated to those who had given their lives to the art of entertainment, and O'Connor had certainly earned his place among them. In his final days, surrounded by caregivers who admired him deeply, he was remembered for his warmth, his humor, and the light he brought to others even in declining health.